Right? Yeah, yesterday I said about overhauling the teaching system and getting rid of all the teachers because they're a bit weird. Uh, which they are a bit weird. I'm not necessarily talking about primary school teachers because they teach sort of real children and are probably teaching the right kind of things. Like it's almost there with it. But secondary school teachers should be treating like the kids as young adults and maybe understanding some of their behaviours are to do with childhood trauma, which is quite fresh, and basically the way they've been raised. But they don't. They just kind of live in this world where they are king because they boss kids around all day and treat them like shit sometimes. Not all the time. There's some very good teachers out there also. But the problem is the actual system. I'll give you an example of it, right? I was having a cigarette outside my girlfriend's flat and my dog Ruby was there and she's always there with me everywhere I go. And this geezer walked past and she didn't like him. She gave him a little and he fucking went mental. Like straight, as soon as she sort of snarled a little bit, I went, Ruby, in. And she jumped right behind me and stood in the doorway. And this fucking geezer screamed at me, put your dog on a lead. And I was like, do what? Hang on a minute, mate, what? Like, I understand like you're scared of that, but don't talk to me like that. And I'd had something happen that day which pissed me off. So I was already pissed off. And he screamed at me again, put your dog on a lead. So I went, fuck off, mate, just go away, get away now. He was like, I'm a teacher. And I was like, what? What relevance does that bear? But like, from his point of view, he's used to telling people what to do and then they do it without question. Whereas I'm standing there, minding my own business, having a cigarette, and my dog is being protective of her property and her owner, which I'm not her owner, I'm her keeper. But being protective of me, and was no harm to him. She just went, and then as soon as I said, right, in, she would jump behind me and sat in the doorway because she's obedient. And she's not a killer animal or anything like that. But this geezer, yeah, he really wanted me to put her on a lead, and I don't want to put her on a lead because she doesn't need to be on a lead. Even when I'm walking around town, don't bother most of the time. Sometimes I do. But, you know, I mean, I've taken her up to London to a protest and walked around London without her on a lead. You know, and she was fine, she didn't run off. In fact, I used to live on a farm. I mean, I'm getting bogged down in the lead thing with a dog. But the thing is, some people put their anxieties about dogs onto me and my dog, whereas my dog is good. My dog has never hurt anyone that didn't deserve to be hurt. I mean, she's bit one person, or like nibbed one person when she was a puppy. Turns out that person wasn't a very nice person anyway, so maybe she was picking up on something that we as humans can't and dogs can, and she knew that person was a bad person and didn't want her near him. Apart from that, she's a great dog. And other people's dogs have anxieties of them running away and stuff like that, or get into fights and stuff like that. But I think what you've got to remember is dogs aren't humans, dogs are dogs. You need to let dogs be dogs. So the way I treat my dog is I let my dog know that I'm alpha and I'm the boss and what I say goes, because that's what would happen if she was in a pack. There would be one dog who was the most dominant one, so that's how they learn and that's how they're used to it, and that's not mistreating them, that is treating them the way they should be treated them as a dog. But some people treat the dogs like humans, some people like children and stuff like that, and ruin the dogs. You should let dogs be free. And if you have to have your dog on a lead because of behavioural problems, that's your dog's problem and your problem, not mine. If I'm walking across the field with my dog not on a lead, that's your problem. That's your problem. Your dog is the problem, not mine. Like, if I call my dog, she'll come back to me. If your dog starts, yeah, my dog might have a go. She's not a fighter, but she sticks up for herself. You know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, let's not get bogged down in all that. The point of it is, teachers are fucking weird because they think they have some sort of power which they don't. And they think that they are better than these children a lot of the time because they went to university. Whereas I sort of look back on the kids from my school who went to university. Some of them are doing all right. But I'm look back at the kids that didn't, and loads of them are doing really well. really well for themselves, got their own businesses and all stuff like that, and are happy. Most importantly, they're happy, because that's the real measure of success, not how much money you have in the bank or how flash car you have or anything like that. It's if you're happy. But I mean, materially, they are successful, and from what I understand. Anyway, let's not get bogged down too much in now. I've got to go work.